starting a startup is actually like very risky. So that's what me, TiE, and like everyone here is actually like trying to build. Okay, to educate students to build safer startups.
On the way, there are a lot of fog will be there, but if you keep walking it, you will get clarity. The more you get clarity, that clarity you will able to get empowerment. Similar like how you're going to gym, the more you take the weights, you get that cumulative empowerment is going to make you a good founder.
I had a vision in my brain that this is what I want to create. I created it, and fortunately for me, it just took off.
For example, one of the founders I really look up to, at 17, he started a carpooling service in Dubai because he found that issue for his classmates and their parents. Then at 19, he was in Bombay during COVID, taking his first year of university remotely. And because of the COVID lockdown, they weren't getting fresh produce anymore. So he tied up with the grocery stores, and through WhatsApp groups, he was selling fresh groceries to the communities. And that founder was Adit Palicha. And that's the company that he spun off into Zepto, which is the category creator in quick commerce for India today, right?
Good afternoon, students. Okay, so yesterday was a special day. Can someone tell me why? There was like some incredible news that happened yesterday. I think in the history of the world, it never happened. Yeah. Can somebody raise your hand and say, like, what was that event? SpaceX, okay. Yeah. Can somebody say, like, what was the news? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, first trillionaire in the world, that is Elon Musk. Okay, I'm not a big fan of Elon Musk, but a person acquired a net worth of 1 trillion. How many zeros in trillion? Anybody knows how many zeros in trillion? Okay, any science students? Economics students? Okay. Okay, million, 6 zeros. Billion, 9 zeros. Trillion means 12 zeros. Okay. So that much money. Okay. Nobody can acquire that much net worth with a job. Everybody agrees, right? Because Elon Musk has like multiple companies. So that's why a person could acquire that much money. So that is like one reason to build a startup. A lot of people who build startups get like attracted towards it because of the money. But right now, I know I'm talking about this $1 trillion, but I know there is like a probability of failures of startups. Around 95% of startups fail. And if you like look at the households of like many places all around the globe, if a family is doing well for a long time, and after some time, if their entire finances is like down the drain, most probably the reason will be like two things. One is health issue of a family member, or a startup failure, a business failure by a family member. So starting a startup is actually like very risky. So that's what me, TiE, and like everyone here is actually like trying to build. Okay, to educate students to build safer startups. So you don't also waste money. You will build something leaner. And here we have a exceptional founders. Okay, we have like 2 founders and an investor here. Okay, who will be like helping us like learn a lot of things. So when I started my startup, Hexagon, it was actually my, I think, 3rd or 4th startup. I actually like lost count. I was like probably like bit arrogant because I felt like I knew a lot of things. But reality actually like humbled me very quickly when I lost money. So these days I go to schools, help students to learn design thinking, all these things, to build startups that are like very stable and make students like not waste money like me. Okay, so that is like what we are also going to like do with today's event to help you build safer startups. And here I will just introduce our panelists here. So here, our first panelist is Arundhati Menon. She's from Exfinity Ventures. So she works closely with early stage startups and founders, helping identify and support promising companies in areas such as AI, SaaS, enterprise technology, and deep tech. Okay. Hey, applause. Yeah. Okay, great. Next is Riya Pant. She's a founder of Blur India, a rapidly growing consumer brand that has built a strong identity through innovation, inclusivity, and digital-first marketing. And here we have Senu Sam from Mykare.ai. He's the founder and CEO. So it's a healthcare technology company using AI to improve patient engagement and healthcare operations. Okay, so this is more like a discussion. So we'll start with a simple question. I think we can start with Senu. Okay. So every startup we know it starts with a pain point and an idea. So how do you come up with this idea for Mykare.ai?
First of all, 3 o'clock, people are still sitting with curious mind. I'm really happy. World, 2 things happened. He told about the billion, the zeros and all. We also thought that we can make that type of billions and trillions, and we started the company. But still, we are not able to cross a lack of money also. So it's not that easy to build a company. It's not that easy to start a startup. First of all, the people who are coming here to listening a startup conference, that itself is an encouraging thing. When we were growing, there was no such events were happening. Nobody there to guide us. We don't know where to ask even direction, how to build a company. It was only brick and mortar, traditional business was available that time. So first of all, I just want to appreciate all the people still sitting here when the music programs and all are happening on outside. You people are listening. Try to make use of it because we are only trying to share what went wrong in our life. Please don't go in that route. You can save your time. That's it. Nothing else. We cannot tell you what to build. None of my playbook will not work for you. None of the podcast playbook will also work for you. Listen only what we have gone wrong, and that if you avoid, you will save time. That's the only thing we want to say. Coming back to it, myself, Senu, I've been in healthcare for last 15 years. Been in the corporate ladder from the Kerala, one small town. I reached to one of the youngest or the highest paying job in healthcare. One simple day, I felt that I'm not getting that kick of whatever target they are giving, I'm able to achieve. The vision, I want to become a VP or CEO, I already become in 32 years in one of the largest healthcare brand. So I'm not getting that kick, what to do. So in that sport, I thought, okay, let's do something of my own because there is no playbook for how to build a company. So every day I have to learn and every day I have to kick myself to make sure my company has to build. So initially I started a simple concept called normal tea shop. Because in Chennai, when I started, there was only coffee shop, and everywhere you see only Nair tea shop. So I thought, look, it's only cafe coffee day that time. Why can't I start something similar to cafe coffee day in tea? That time in 2016, there is no Chai Kings or Chai branches are there. I started a brand name called the Great Indian Chai, and there is an accelerator program in Freshwork. They actually asked us, if you have an idea only, I can enter there. For that purpose, I started that tea chain. Become around 4 or 5. The trademark was the Great Indian Chai. Once I started that business, I understood tea is not my cup of tea because whatever I learned in my 15 or 16 years in healthcare will not able to replicate there. My second venture, I handed over that company to somebody passionate about tea to run it. They rebranded it and taken forward. The second was I started an IVF hospital, which is IVF center in Hyderabad in Gachibowli. The thing was that I don't know technology startup, and to start something in brick and mortar, healthcare, I know it. The moment I started, 2 months later, COVID has come. And the brick and mortar business, it was the most shaking time. So again, the testing time, one is my cup of tea is not tea chain. Second is that when started a brick and mortar IVF chain, suddenly 2 months later, after putting all the investment, started getting into a 10 to 12 cycles of IVF started. Then suddenly COVID came. The theory became that no brick and mortar business will survive after this. Only the technology startups will survive. Then it becomes struggle, what to do. And after this, again, I handed over the business to that doctor. Doctor is built around 5 chains right now. So I thought, like, I want to build something which I should not get stuck. So up to here, I want to put a narrative that it was not one fine day I wake up that I want to become billionaire. I want to solve a real problem. It was not came out of that. It was came out of a thing. I'm not getting that kick what I'm getting in a corporate culture. I want to do something. That was the first point. Then only I started narrating it. Okay, you have to find a problem. You have to solve a problem. In that way only my life is going. I'll put a pause here because I'll come to Mykare and the next questions. So just to conclude there, it is about where you get a kick, where you get a starting point, just start it. Don't wait for that right problem statement. Don't wait for that right moment to build a company because this too was not there in my two company. It was on the journey. It is a journey. Throughout the journey only you will get clarity. More clarity you will get because you don't, any advice I got, I'm not able to implement because the reason one was they are telling from their own experience. That might not work for, might be the environment has changed because they never experienced whoever build a company, never experienced how to build a company during COVID time. So how will they guide me? So there was nobody who's given me a training how to build a tea chain when only coffee chains was there. So this was the learnings. Wherever you get that starting point, don't wait for that moment. If you feel to do something, just start it. On the way, there are a lot of fog will be there, but if you keep walking it, you will get clarity. And the more you get clarity, that clarity you will able to get empowerment. Similar like how you're going to gym, the more you take the weights, you get that cumulative empowerment is going to make you a good founder, and that is going to make a real founder. Not wait for that real starting point. I'm just adding one more thing. I'm not coming from a great educational background. I failed in degree first year, entire 6 subject. I failed in degree second year, entire 6 subject. So if I can sit here, you guys are great people who might be having great marks. You have a great future ahead of because I have to overcome all these inefficiencies, even to talk in English. Because I'm coming from a tier 3 village. To talk in English, I was struggling in a point. All this is based on a pressure. To stand in front of a stage, I become a founder. There is no resignation. I cannot go back. I have to go to work. My team can resign. I cannot resign. So it's an amazing journey. You will feel a worth for living, and that is what about entrepreneurship. I can put it in that way. Thank you.
Okay, so my next question is to Riya. So when we start a business, we usually like think about our passions, but there is also this thing called market, okay, which is like the final judge. So in your journey for Blur India, what was the mix? How much was it passion? How much was it market research? How much was it founder product fit?
So I think in my case, it was 100% passion based. When I started, I didn't do any market research. I didn't put any 2 and 2 together to figure out will it sell or not. I had a vision in my brain that this is what I want to create. I created it, and fortunately for me, it just took off. There's a very few things in my life that I was very passionate about since like a very young age. Cosmetics, personal care being one of them. And yeah, I think once we sort of started along the way, there's so much to learn in a journey. I mean, I've only had a 4-year journey as of yet, but the 4 years have felt like almost 40 years because the kind of things you learn, there's always highs, there's always lows. And for me, it was a mix of 100% passion, and I think market fit is something that just found its way into my journey. That's what I feel.
Great. So my next question is to Arundhati. So she is from Exfinity Ventures. So she manages the investment and all. So what is like one thing that you actually like look? You'll be going through a lot of pitch decks from student founders, college founders, and all. So what are like some few things that a founder can use, especially the founders of like this young age? Okay, maybe from 18 to like or 20, 24, that range. How can they like stand out? in a pitch deck?
So there is no few things. There's unfortunately not a formula. What we look for goes quite beyond the pitch deck. It goes to the actual people that are building the company. How much, how passionate are they to solve the problem? How much of conviction do they have to pick themselves up after hearing no after no from every investor, multiple investors? I was reading that Senu apparently heard no 80 times before he finally got an investor to back his business. It's very, very difficult. And if we don't feel that the founder has the conviction to overcome all of these hurdles and still continue his journey to solving the problem that he started out with, to building a product, then realizing that the product isn't going to work after all, having to pivot, having to completely re-architect. If we feel that the founder doesn't have that kind of conviction, that would actually be what we are looking for. And beyond all of that, of course, a strong technological moat, a cohesive team with complementary skill sets. These are all very important as well. But I think the root of the problem is having a very passionate group of people who are strong enough to pick themselves back up no matter how many times they fall and keep going at it.
I wanted to ask a personal question, which actually when I was like looking for like investment, so I went through this Reddit post, and they were like telling no investors, okay, will be like backing a founder with no history, okay, like a first time founder, nobody will be like backing, and if a founder is having no revenue, okay, if he is having only this MVP or like prototype stage, no investors will be like backing. So how much of that is true? Okay, since I got an investor here on the stage, so I thought like ask it.
Sure, it's relative, right? So there are later stage investors who would only invest in companies that have attained a certain kind of scale. So companies which have a certain amount of revenue, who have found their product market fit. But there are investors, angel investors and seed funds who will back a company regardless of it being a first-time founder and regardless of them not even having, forget revenue, these companies won't even have a product. It will probably be as something as an idea which is scribbled on a paper napkin, and this investor has backed that founder with the conviction that this person has what it takes to really see the company through, right? A small example from our story is in our second fund, we backed a company called Pixis. At the time, it wasn't Pixis, and they were not building what the company is currently doing, but three BITS Pilani dropouts, 20, 21-year-olds, and they were building a company in virtual reality. Didn't work, pivoted once, didn't work, pivoted second time, and that worked. Today, the company is backed by SoftBank, and they are valued at over $500 million. So,
I think that answers my question as well. Okay, so that is students. It's like don't think about these roadblocks in your head. Okay, so this was like one roadblock that I got from a Reddit post. So this Redditor was like saying, "Oh, okay, don't apply. Nobody will be like backing you up." Okay, so that's why when I got the investor, I asked it. Okay, so my next question is to Riya. So I think the biggest hurdle when building a startup is getting the first 5 or 3 customers. Okay, so can you tell your journey, like how you got the first 3 customers?
So if you see our brand, the kind of community building that we do around our brand it's very fun, funny, relatable, tongue-in-cheek, very youth-oriented, right? Gen Z marketing. So when we started, I think we started out of my apartment. I had 2 interns and that's it. The 3 people sitting behind a laptop starting marketing. We made a couple of memes around the products. We ran like really small Instagram ads, like 5,000 a day, 10,000 a day budgets. And we had a small lot of about 500,000 odd lipsticks. And the projection was that we'll take a month, we'll see how many of these sell. Out of the 3-4 memes that we made, 2 went viral and we sold out in like less than a week. The entire lot was gone. So that's where I sort of realized that the market has turned from, polished ads, direction, actors to relatable content. The less polished the content, the messier the content, the more relatable the content. People, younger kids especially, they relate to that brand more. So that's been our marketing moat since that day. Even today, if you see, look at our ads library, it's going to be some really wacky, funny ads. Sometimes in our ads, we're making fun of our own brand. And that's how we got the first 3 customers. That's how we're now at, I think, the whatever 6, 7 lakh customers that we've done. So that was the strategy, just being relatable, not being afraid to like fail, not being afraid to make fun of ourselves. That's it.
I wanted to ask you a question. So when, if I go to the, let's say, the supermarket and like try for some cosmetic products or like even a shampoo, I'll be always looking for this top end brands because I'm like a bit scared. Like if I use some unknown brands on my hair, will I lose my hair? Like that, there is a subconscious or like conscious thoughts that's like, well, how did you overcome this thing? So if I am in your position, like if I think about like something like what you have like built, I will never be building it because I will be like blocked with this thought because I know that if I start now, it won't be a big brand, and I will automatically think that people won't buy it. So how did you overcome this?
No, I think right now the market has changed a lot. People do want to try new stuff, and I'm talking about the under 35 people that are also spending the most money on personal care. Uh, Me personally, I also tend to go out if I see of course, if it's a skincare thing, I do read the ingredient label, but I always give new brands a chance. Back when we started 3, 4 years ago, at the time, there was not an influx of a lot of personal care, perfume, makeup brands at the time. We were only sticking to like in the perfume segments, there was maybe like a Bella Vita was there, or in the makeup segment, something like a Lakme or a Color Bar or a Revlon was there. So for me, the idea was that I'm seeing a gap in the market where I'm not able to relate to any of these brands, right? Like as good as a Lakme or a Revlon is, as a consumer, I don't relate to it because I know at the end of the day, it's an MNC run by a bunch of 50-year-olds on the board. So I thoroughly believe that if the person who's founding the brand is itself a consumer of that particular product, that brand will always relate more to the younger people. So I actually never had that thought, even though yes, D2C right now is an extremely, extremely crowded space. A lot of brands have shut in the last 1 year. But I think we just had this crazy conviction that, we're going to be there no matter what. And it's really worked for us that way.
Great. So back to Senu. So Senu is actually, I think, operating in a B2B manner. So he's giving these tech to hospitals. So how did you find your first customer? So can you give us the story?
So the B2C and B2B is completely different. So I started as a B2C company. The theory was when my father was admitted in a hospital, it was a mid-sized hospital, and I was not really accepting the experience my father was going through, and because I was coming from a branded hospital experience. So when I'm looking in India, around 90% of hospitals, clinics is non-branded hospital, which you can see around 100 hospitals in Kochi. You will only know about branded Rajagiri and Aster, but there are 100 hospitals in this Kochi itself. So the same thought process, like how can I help them, because they are only utilized 40%, and how can I help them by the marketing or the patient experience, the entire journey, how can be taken. So I started pitching to each hospital, went to them because they are already 40% occupancy only. They have to pay their salaries for all the doctors and staff, same like 100 occupancy. So when I pitched to them, first of all, it is that there is no hard and fast rule. You have to just go and beg them. You have to tell who you are, because if you are not making noise, people will not know about you. So you have to go to them and tell what you are doing. And I kept going on around 9 or 10 hospitals, and one hospital told, okay, I'll give you one chance. And that's how I kickstarted in 2021. I kickstarted, 22 was the starting point. And then to solve this type of a problem, that too from Kerala, competing to a larger India, it's not going to be easy. Then the first customer has come from there, then that customer has got the experience, then they told to the other experience. When your product is giving 10x value than what is available in the market, automatically they will tell to 10 people. So whatever you are building, it should be unmatched, which should not get easily replaceable. And it is messy problem. It will be very hard. but you have to have a conviction. I have a passion. When my father gone through that experience, I don't want any Indian consumer should go through that experience. With that passion, I started. And just adding one point again there, this is the same time my wife was going to UK. She got a postdoc in UK. Any Malayali husband will run behind wife going to Europe. And especially I was having a 8-month-old child that time. But I stayed back because I seen this is the golden moment I can solve it. If I solve, there are thousands of opportunity to fail. There are thousands of ways I can fail, I have very clear. I don't know that is 1% how to get it success. But that conviction that somebody has to solve, whether it is Senu or X or Y has to solve it. Because 90% of hospital is unoccupied. So that conviction started, keep pitching, today still pitching. Then the B2C has pivoted to B2B because the manpower heaviness has come. Then the agents are more capable than humans. So I started loving agents more, AI agents. So we started deploying agents and started giving to hospitals. They started loving it. So we are still building from Kerala and competing to the world. Pitching our product, they will get conviction. If you believe that you yourself is get amazed with your product and don't fake yourself. For my product, I am very passionate about. I will not tell, even if somebody tell wrong also, you yourself has to get amazed. I told my engineers inside that if we are not get surprised with what we are building, others will not get surprised. You should get excited about what you are building. So that's how, keep pitching, still pitching. You will get customers automatically.
Yeah. Actually, the Senu is actually very inspiring for me. Because one of our products when we started, we have like this AI agentic training platform. So we were like planning to give it to hospitals. So I was like going to these hospitals like Rajagiri and others and like pitching it. So as Senu said, like he has like failed in exams, all these things, and still I know this hospital market's not a easy cake walk. So it's very inspiring. Thanks. And next question I want to ask Riya. Okay. So when we build a startup, all of us, I think most of us, most of the students here right now probably might have understood this thing. So starting a business is not an easy thing. So you will need a person like a co-founder or a partner to build the startup. So how was your journey in finding your co-founder?
So with me, of course, the first 3 years of the startup, I built it all by myself. Once I reached a certain scale where it was not possible for me to sort of take care of the entire operations is when I onboarded a co-founder. I think the most important thing you need while looking for a co-founder is, of course, complementary skill sets. So I'm, of course, the creative head. I look into the marketing, the branding, the product. My co-founder, who fortunately is somebody that I've been friends with for over a decade. So one, of course, we've had that relationship wherein we're very open with each other. We can speak about things. Two, he came with completely complementary skill sets. Great at finance, great at operations, great at all things analytical, which give me anxiety attacks. So it was just like completely complementary skill sets. And once we sat down, once we sort of discussed that this is how we're going to bifurcate work, this is what you're going to work on, and this is how we're going to grow the company, you know within the first few conversations if it's going to work or not. And it was just that instant click that we had. And since then, of course, we've been doing great together.
Just adding there, I have a 360-degree difference of me to get a co-founder because I'm coming from a tier 3 area in Kerala. So the first mentors will be telling that find out your close circle, find out from your college. I myself is a degree failed guy. When I look my batchmate in the back benches, all are in the same theoretical group only. Then they told, okay, extend your network, go to your panchayat or block. Somewhere you might be having some connection. When you go to VC, you have to tell that you know this guy from childhood. I looked at all my panchayat, all my block, all my village or district. I'm not able to connect. 2 times I was gone behind somebody. One was when I was in love with my wife before marriage, gone behind her for almost 6-7 years. Similar, to find a co-founder, I pitched to at least around 12 to 13 people. I have this product, can you come with me? I have this product. I started reaching out to so many people, friend request in LinkedIn, to get one co-founder. So it was a journey which was not conventionally everyone talk about to get a easy co-founder. It was very hard for me because I'm telling this because I'm not from the urban area might be. So my college also I was not got it. So finally I reached out to around couple of people in LinkedIn. One guy was like, it's like that one girl was waiting that if you call his, suddenly he will jump the wall and come with you. Similar like that, two people were waiting. I pitched my problem. They were able to correlate with that problem. So I found my co-founder and selected co-founder are the same the same theory that it should be complementary skills. More than that, are they passionate? Because everything what we are going to go through is everything is unpredictable thing. And in that unpredictable thing, there will be so many storms, winds, everything will be there. Will anybody is there for me to hold my hand in all the scenario? If I want to cry, if I want to laugh, if I want to tell that I am weak, if I want to shout, who is there in all this scenario, who will be with me? That was the criteria I have taken. Luckily, I got not one, I got two co-founders, and that's how I started the company. So keep reaching out to people. There's like Fulva is also there. They also started with 4 co-founders. So 4 or 5, 4, yeah. So keep reaching out to people and look for that same, and all kids, how you are getting that dating moment. You will get the same vibe. Okay, suddenly everyone wake up. So that same vibe, same energy, when you get it, you feel that, okay, this will be with me for a long time. And that person you have to keep with you. And they will not be running away with struggles. They will not be running away with money. They will be only will be with you. And they will be with you until you reach that destiny to solve this problem. And their kick is also solving this problem, not anything else. So find out co-founders like that and they will be stick with you. And that's the journey you are going to go. So make sure they should be also, will be with you for a longer time.
Okay, so when we used to go to schools as part of this TiE Young Entrepreneurs, so a lot of students after this session used to come and talk to me about like starting the business. So one interesting thing I noticed was there was a lot of single founders, okay, people who don't want to partner with another co-founder, unable to find a co-founder. So as from an investor point of view, how do you actually like evaluate single founders? Do they have a chance to get investment? Or usually like, I think most of the investments that is like going, it's having a bigger team or like at least 2 or 3 co-founders are there. So what's your take on that? Single founders.
Yes. So the issue is that it's really difficult for one person to be everything for a company. So for us specifically, given that we are tech investors, we obviously need somebody who is a very strong tech person, a brilliant CTO, right? But at the same time, your company also needs someone who can talk to investors and raise money. That's equally important as well. Once you grow the company a little bit and achieve even a small amount of scale, you need someone who's able to manage finance. You need someone who's able to manage operations. And it's impossible for one person to be able to do all of this. So we have invested in some single founder companies, but as Riya and Senu have said, it is very important for us to have a co-founding team with complementary skill sets. This co-founder journey, like an investor-founder journey, it's like a marriage. There will be many ups and many downs. It's going to get very, very difficult. So if they know each other already, if they've worked together already, it gives us that much more comfort that, okay, this team will stick together when things really get hard. And even despite that, you will see founders who have worked together for 10 years, been friends, grown up together, and still there are founder breakups that happen during the startup journey. So unfortunately, even with all of this, there is no guarantee, but this does make it slightly easier.
Okay, so next question is about like the main thing that I think almost all founders will be like having for breakfast, that is failures. So Riya, can you like talk about like some failure that you have made early on and how you recovered from that? What helped you the most?
So of course, as a solo founder with no advisors on board, not coming from a business background, I did make a lot of mistakes in the first few years. One was, of course, I didn't, again, as I said, numbers give me anxiety. So I'm more of a creative person. So I made a lot of accounting mistakes. I made a lot of financial mistakes that thankfully, because the brand was, it had a strong presence, we were able to recover from all the mistakes I've made. But I feel every founder will have their own journey, will have their own mistakes. With my mistakes, thankfully, I was able to sort of get people on board on time who were able to guide me correctly, who were able to sort of bring us out of a lot of mistakes that I made. So yeah, I think the main issue is not the mistakes you made, but how you tackle them, how you take them head on, and now you're not supposed to like back down or give up because of a small mistake. What's the worst that's going to happen? Your company will shut down, right? You're still alive, you're still kicking, you'll go in again, you'll do something else as well. So failures, I think, are a part of your journey, especially for an entrepreneur. It's inevitable. At some point, you will make some mistake. Don't know how big or small that mistake might be, but everyone's going to make some mistake at some point. So yeah, I think my biggest mistake was sort of having that overconfidence that I'll run this all by my own because of 2 good years. In the third year, I made this mistake of being a little too overconfident because numbers were great and growing, and we were sort of gaining sort of popularity. So I became a little this thing. I don't need a co-founder. So as she also said, if you're trying to take everything up in your plate, the plate is going to break at some point. So I've been managed to tape up my plate, and I'm holding it very well right now with my co-founder.
Yeah, Senu, I think your industry is healthcare. So can you like talk about like mistakes? Because I don't think like there is like too much room for mistakes in healthcare.
Oh, look, two parts. So as a startup founder, I still do mistakes, and 80% or 90% what I do is mistake only. But I know that only after I do it only, because I don't know I'm purposefully going to do a mistake. So because we don't have a rule book, we have to try experiment it and fail fast and keep moving on it. One thing it's not a mistake. I feel like a felt one time only. Because the rest everything is every day we are failing. You start loving failure, so keep moving on. Because all the students in the school, they are teach only love the success, go for success only. Here I am telling them, start loving failures. If you are getting more empowerment or encouragement or endurance in failures, the moment after crossing that, it is only success. So get moving on that. So the one part I get really hurt is that when I go to pitch the startup idea to an investor. I went to a startup. They called me for a meeting. I went there. My wife is in UK. I am here, passionate about building something from India. And he told, he's a fair good investor. He told, come to my office. I put the laptop, switch on, started talking from my heart, blood out of it, telling about passion. The only thing I forget to tell is the Bharat Mata Ki Ji, that much of passionate I'm talking about my pitch. Want to talk about the pitch. Pitch I started for 3 minutes or 4 minutes. The investor told, I'm just coming back, just be here. It's been 1 hour. The housekeeping lady came and told he left at least 45-50 minutes back. That day, I came back to my house, sat in near to my bed. Up to 3 to 4 o'clock, I was crying. What am I fool I am doing when I was in a corporate ladder on a high-paying job, leaving that, leaving your kid, leaving your wife, pitching your idea. The first fellow itself told it's a bullshit idea. And what are you doing here? But that given you two things. Either you can stop it or you have to fire it up. Because you have only one life. If Elon Musk can do it, why Senu can't do it? What is it changing? What is it? Same, he is also studied. He is also a Canada. He went to San Francisco. He want to have a passionate about building something. We are also asked to do it. So that passion, I went started pitching. Started failing. Again pitching. As Arundhati was told, I don't know if the count is 80 or not. I was keep pitching it. And every pitch I come back and I see that, what did I do wrong? Why I am not able to get impressed in front of investors? And I was started noticing, the moment I pitch, how the eyebrows of the investors are going down, which area they are getting attention, and which area they are not getting attention, and start improving myself. Okay, if 80 times I started improving, it will be only 18 or maximum 12 page of deck. If every movement of a investor I am able to get, it's not that what I'm solving the problem is wrong. I'm not able to convey it the way which they want it. So I started pitching. It went to around 80 or 90 pitches. From that, from a Kerala startup, without any guidance, any direction, a failed founder, failed degree or first year and second year founder, started raising money around 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore, 5 crore, 10 crore, 15 crore, 20 crore. Yesterday I closed another 8 crore. It become around 32 crores right now. I raised the highest funding recently here. So I'm telling that again I'm telling, you will only see so many red light in front of you in the road. But wait, yellow will come, green will come. And you have to wait for that. Just that you've seen a red light, you should not go back. And I'm telling you, I might fail moving forward. Just because I'm sitting here today, I'm telling up to this, it's not that I'm going to only success. But as a Senu, as an individual, is not going to fail until I decide it. As a company, it can fail because might be economical status, the war status, the COVID status, but I am not going to stop. If I am decided that I am not going to stop, and if nobody is, whatever circumstance come, if I am not going to stop it, yet another Elon Musk you can see from India, from Kerala also, and we will build it. We together can build it, and you guys can build it. So failure, coming back to the question, these type of things only kicked me, and I started loving it. If anything, if I am going in a dull mode, some failure comes, these type of things will come, I'll fire it up. Then it will be a supercharge. This, just adding here again, one investor came to acquire one of our subsidiary vertical. Large IPO listed company, large travel vertical in India. He came to our office in Kerala Startup Mission. The last moment, one of my investors told, don't sell it right now. Don't sell it right now, keep building it. So people will come, keep building it. So that's the only thing I have to say it.
Okay, so my next question is to Arundhati. So these students, okay, who are like sitting here, we all know that like startup is somewhat like an expensive hobby. So to build anything, you will be needing some money. So these students who are like seeing, we are seeing across Kerala, they won't be like having a lot of money or like a lot of wealth in their family. So what's your advice for like someone who is starting from maybe at a poor background? How can they like build something, like get invested in the future? So what's some advice that you can give?
I think there's a lot of thought that goes into what makes founders so special, right? And one thing I've personally noticed from meeting founders over the years is that they have this relentless pursuit of solving the problems around them, no matter how large or small those problems may seem to us. For example, one of the founders I really look up to, at 17, he started a carpooling service in Dubai because he found that issue for his classmates and their parents. Then at 19, he was in Bombay during COVID, taking his first year of university remotely. And because of the COVID lockdown, they weren't getting fresh produce anymore. So he tied up with the grocery stores, and through WhatsApp groups, he was selling fresh groceries to the communities. And that founder was Adit Palicha. And that's the company that he spun off into Zepto, which is the category creator in quick commerce for India today, right? So it's just this constant need to keep solving the problems around you. You don't need capital. You don't even need maybe initially co-founders. You don't need any of these things. Just figure out the problems which are plaguing you and go ahead and solve it. It's that mindset, I think, which really sets founders apart, not anything else.
Yes. Okay, so I think now we can like take some questions from
Just adding one point of this investors thing. Look, investors are looking to invest on startups. They have money. They are not finding right startup. It is your job, if you are good enough, create attention. It is not about what financial background you are coming from. If you building look, nobody heard about 10-minute quick commerce in India. Same story. So if you pitch to somebody, nobody is going to believe, but somebody believed it, and it is going to a 8,000 crores IPO right now. So it's not that which background, which family background, what education, qualification, what religion, all this it is immaterial. If you have a innovative solution, you, look, is that it's the more money is available, less startups are there. So if it does not hold you back, come up, tell innovative solutions, keep pitching on investors. Even if Arundhati is here, definitely you should have, some founders should have been waiting for, okay, she's coming. I used to do that. I found my first or second or third investment from Hari from Big Basket. He was walking to the restroom. I was waiting. I know that he will definitely go either this out or that out. So that is the only area we can catch him. On that restroom way only I spoke to him, 2 minutes. And my investors today include from Snapchat Global CEO, Meta MD, Instagram CEO, Paytm CFO, Oyo CEO, Nitish from Nazara, Arjun Vaidya, ANZ Bank CEO, world's largest valued company, Papa.com founders. So it's not that you keep pitching. Papa.com founders, after Airbnb in YC is the largest valued company is Papa.com. I reached out to him through LinkedIn. I keep messaging him. He was not responding. I keep sending my updates. He was not messaging. He keep messaging, keep building the FOMO. The one moment I crossed 1.5 million revenue, I'm seeing a reply back, hey, do you have some round open I can invest? Keep approaching. Startup, they have money. It's not that you people are not reaching out to the people or not consistently reaching, not put that endurance to keep reaching out to them, not look for the same format like everyone is doing. Try, because they also required a new way of approaching them. So make sure, one more example I'll tell you. Many times I am not getting a platform to pitch to the investors. So I went to one or two large investors available conferences where I don't have money to get into the conference. So I will somehow get inside as an audience because we don't have money to sponsor anything. That's why we get as an audience there. And I will wait for that moment to ask a question exactly to that investor to make sure that, hey, I am Senu Sam, I am from Mykare, I am building this is my startup, this is the thing. Then ask one question, it's like for the namesake or whatsoever, but I got an attention. That attention, I'll just give you the recent example was, I went 3 weeks back after raising this much money, for Deep Kalara's one small closed group meeting was there. Deep Kalara is Mykare founder. I was waited only for that moment to ask a question. Rest everything, whatever they said, look, I might be already gone through my life in my 4 years journey. I asked that one question. He remembered me. He was not remembering anybody who was sitting in that audience. He asked after the meeting, that fellow who asked the question, can I meet him outside? He took a picture with me. He given his email. I sent an email to him. 5 minutes back, he connected with his group CEO. Group CEO is connected with me. And they have started talking to me for one or the other reason. But I'm saying, you should find way. Investors have money, you should find way. That's it.
Okay, great insight, Senu. So I think Senu is, after listening to Senu, I'm just thinking about like something my brother-in-law said when I started my startup. It's all about guts. You should have guts. Okay, so now we will like open up to the audience. Any questions that you want to ask them? Okay, you can stand up, raise your hand. 2 incredible founders, 1 investor, yeah. Mike, yes.
Hi, my name is Menon. I want to talk to Senu. Like, your last line, that was my exact plan. ഞാൻ എന്താണോ വിചാരിച്ചത് അത് തന്നെയാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്, എന്താ ചെയ്യാൻ വന്നതെന്ന്. ലൈക്ക് ഞങ്ങളുടെ കോളേജിൽ കുറച്ച് പേരുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, അവരൊരു സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് തുടങ്ങിയിരുന്നു. ലൈക്ക് ദേ ഓൾ വെയർ ടെക്നിക്കൽ ഗൈസ് ആൻഡ് അവർക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ പിച്ച് ചെയ്യാനും ആൾക്കാരോട് പോയി സംസാരിക്കാനൊക്കെ മടിയായിരുന്നു. അപ്പം ഞാനങ്ങനെ ഒരു ടെക്നിക്കൽ ഗായ് അല്ല, പക്ഷേ എനിക്കിങ്ങനെ എല്ലാവരോടും സംസാരിക്കുന്നത് അവർ കണ്ടിട്ട് എന്നോട് ഇങ്ങനെ വന്ന് ചോദിച്ചു, ഇങ്ങനെ ഇവർക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ ചെയ്തു കൊടുക്കാമോയെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചു. അപ്പം അവരൊരു ഹെൽത്ത് കെയർ സംഭവമായിരുന്നു ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ദേ ഹാവ് ടു ടോക്ക് ടു ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽസ്. അപ്പം എങ്ങനെ നമ്മൾ കോളേജ് സെക്കൻഡ് ഇയറിൽ പഠിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക, അപ്പോൾ എങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് അറിയില്ല. സോ എനിക്ക് ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് അറിയില്ല. ഞാൻ ഇതിനു മുമ്പ് ഒരു സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ്, ഒരു കമ്പനി ഒന്നുമില്ല. എനിക്ക് ഒരു ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ടും ഇല്ല. നമ്മൾ നേരെ ഒരു ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിലോട്ട് നടന്ന് കയറി ചെന്നു. റിസപ്ഷനിൽ ചോദിച്ചു സിഇഒയുടെ റൂം ഏതാണെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചു. നേരെ പോയി. അപ്പോഴാണ് പിന്നെ പറയുന്നത് നമ്മൾ ഇങ്ങനെ പെർമിഷനൊക്കെ എടുക്കണം. അങ്ങനെ പെർമിഷനൊക്കെ എടുത്ത് വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്തു. ആദ്യം അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേറ്ററിനെ കണ്ടു, സംസാരിച്ചു. അപ്പം പ്രസൻറ്റേഷൻ വല്ലതും ഉണ്ടോയെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചു. നമ്മളൊന്നും പ്രിപ്പയർഡ് അല്ലായിരുന്നു. പെട്ടെന്ന് 2 ഫോട്ടോസും സ്ലൈഡും വെച്ചിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ചുമ്മാ പ്രസൻറ്റ് ചെയ്തു. പറഞ്ഞു അടുത്ത ദിവസം വരൂ സിഇഒ ആയിട്ട് സംസാരിക്കാമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അങ്ങനെ സിഇഒ ആയിട്ട് സംസാരിച്ചു. അങ്ങനെ ഞങ്ങളൊരു 5-6 ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽസിൽ കവർ ചെയ്തു. ലൈക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും ഐഡിയ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു. പക്ഷേ ദ മെയിൻ തിങ് വാസ് എല്ലാം പ്രൈവറ്റ് ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽസ് ആയിരുന്നു. അപ്പം അവർക്കത് നമ്മളൊരു സെൻട്രലൈസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സിസ്റ്റം ആയിരുന്നു നോക്കിക്കൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അവരെല്ലാവരും പറഞ്ഞു ഡേറ്റ അല്ല മറ്റേ ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിലും കൂടെ ഡേറ്റ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് തരുമോയെന്നൊക്കെ ചോദിച്ചു. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സ്റ്റേറ്റിലോട്ട് വന്നു. അപ്പോൾ പിന്നെ നമ്മളിങ്ങനെ കേരള സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് മിഷനിലും അങ്ങനെ കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ഗവൺമെൻറ് റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാരോടൊക്കെ ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് സംസാരിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങി. നമുക്ക് ലീഗൽ സൈഡ് അറിയില്ലല്ലോ. അപ്പോൾ അവർ പറഞ്ഞു അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യുന്നത് വലിയ പ്രശ്നം ഉണ്ടാകും, അതുകൊണ്ട് ആ ഒരു രീതിയിലോട്ട് പോകണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. പിന്നീട് നമ്മൾ ഇതുപോലെ തന്നെ സംസാരിച്ച് വരുമ്പോഴേക്കും ഞാൻ വരിക. നമ്മൾ വരുമ്പോഴേക്കും മെയിനായിട്ട് ഇവർക്ക് നമ്മൾ പിച്ച് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴേക്കുള്ള പ്രശ്നം, നമ്മൾ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ആണല്ലോ, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമുക്കിതിൽ വലിയ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ഇല്ല. സോ അവർ നമ്മളെ ട്രസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഭയങ്കര കുറവായിരിക്കും. അതെങ്ങനെ നമുക്ക് സോൾവ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും?
ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ ട്രിക്ക് എനിക്ക് തന്നെ ഇട്ട് കുറേ കഥ പറഞ്ഞു കേൾപ്പിച്ച്. സോ കമ്മിങ് ബാക്ക് ടു ദിസ്, ലുക്ക്, there are 60,000 hospitals and 2 lakhs clinics are there. Somebody will trust you. Keep approaching people, keep again approaching people. I will not have a right solution how to build trust in front of you, because we don't know that scenario, how you pitched and who is sitting in front of you. That scenario I don't know. But I am telling you, you keep pitching. If your solution is required in the market, out of 10, 1 will agree. If it is required in the market, that 1% only you have to. So improve the probability of pitching, improve the probability of failure, improve the probability of meeting people. That will give you 1 or 2 clients. So that's how we cannot build trust in front of them. Because building a healthcare company, the trust layer is getting a IPA complaint, VIPT complaint, DPDP complaint, but that is not in your level of startup required it. Somebody who believes that, okay, this guy can do what I want it at the half of the cost, rather than going to a big company. So keep pitching it. Somebody will take it. So improve. 1 people only you pitched?
No.
How many people? How many hospitals?
7 to 8 hospitals.
Increase to 30 or 40.
2 government
Your
hospitals.
time increase to 100, 30, 40, 50, 100.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
You will get 1 client from that. There you will learn it.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Saurav Shan and I'm from Bhavans. And my question is to all 3 of you, Arundhati ma'am, Senu sir and Riya ma'am. What are your definitions of success?
See, I think that's a very, again, success is very subjective. For me, as long as I'm waking up every day, doing what I love, enjoying what I do for my job, I think I'm living a very successful life. I don't wake up with stress कि okay आज office जाना है. I don't like doing what I do. That's, I think, where I fail. So as long as I love what I do and I'm happy with what I'm doing, that's making me money, I think that's my definition of successful.
I think until my parents, and probably to a certain extent my generation also, the definition of success was going abroad, studying, getting a job that was seen as stable, things like that, right? But I really think that today we are at a time when India is not just a consumer of products and technology. We're at a point where we're able to produce it, right from UPI to a consumer brand like what Riya is building, or the companies that I'm seeing, startups building in semiconductor, defense technology, space technology, across the board, right? So we're at a very exciting time where at this influx point where the Indian economy is poised for growth, and a large degree of that growth is set to come from startups. So I think the definition of success today has fortunately evolved from what it used to be. And today it's just about pursuing what you're passionate about, solving the hard problems around you, And today you can be successful as a startup founder as well. For me personally, I always wanted to work in this space, right? Right from college, I wanted to work with these brilliant founders and get a courtside seat to the kind of companies that they're building and their journeys. That was always my definition of success, and it continues to be so. For me, it's just about learning from these founders and learning from people who are much smarter than I am.
So last chance, okay. I have two definitions. One is what I seen success as my life earlier. The earlier success was like might be getting a good job, that was felt as success. Then I felt marrying somebody much better than what I am coming from. So I went and married or started loving the girl who is BTech first rank, MTech first rank from BITS Pilani, PhD from first woman from IIT Madras in AI, postdoc from King's College. So I'm not able to find such a girl, so I thought that is a success. Then I thought you should have kids. So need one or two kids. Today I have 4 kids. In 4 year startup, what should I have? Every year in my house there is one kid. So I have 4 kids. I thought that is success. My wife is also a startup founder which raised 2 women founders recently raised from Kalari Capital in Voice AI. So she started company, I started company. Then we understood what is the current success, because everything what we thought that time was success, we reached already. Today, on the journey of my startup, I felt today is that 3 things. When I reach 70 or 80 years, when I am in the bed, when I am looking back, how did I use my life, which God has given to me? And that life, you got around 1 to 70 or 80 years. Did you completed your purpose, which you have been come to this world? Did you completed the destiny, which you have been told? And did you satisfied with what you have kept the legacy behind for the generations to come? If you don't have something to feel like that, rest everything is materialistic success. Whatever I told about money raised, the best of the best person to marry, get more kids, or raising $1 billion money, all this, I'm not feeling. When you look back on the last moment in the hospital bed or wherever you are, if you are not able to see these 3 things, have you completed your purpose, which you came for? Have you completed your destiny, what you came for? And you have made some impact in the world or not? If you are not able to do that, I think that will become a biggest failure for your life. Then you don't have a rewind button to go back and correct all these things. And when you don't have a failure that time, I think that will be called as success. I don't think any other area which I can tag as a success, and that is what I felt, and that is what you people have to do. Create some impact, create a great company, and make the legacy of the years. People have to tell, this was a company was available here, and that my kids has to hear. In my house, just to add it here, last point is that my 4 kids, they knows that Papa and Mama is going to build companies. My wife is also raised money, so Monday she will go to Bangalore, Friday she come. My house is run by 3 maids, and I am also running my startup. So my kids is already seeing that, okay, this is how my generation should be. This is how I have to become. So create purpose, create an impact in the world, and create a great destiny for your life. When you look back at 70, you should be proud about yourself. Your family should be proud of us. You should keep some legacy behind, and that's what I think success will be.
I hope the questions are over. Any more questions? Yes, we have one more young fellow right there. So that will be our last question. So we'll hear it out.
Hello, good afternoon. Myself Advait Somkumar. I'm an engineering student. So, as you all know, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So, we all told about single step, the first step of starting a startup. So, my question is, what is your experience of all the 3 people who are sitting here? What was your experience of the next step of maintaining that startup, of scaling that startup? As we all know, the tech giant Byju's and the sort of downfall it had. Similarly, the next biggest hurdle than starting a startup is maintaining that startup, scaling that startup, making it into a full-fledged company, making it our identity. So, what are the challenges or the hurdles you face while scaling your company or such various problems? Also, I have one simple question to Mr. Abhimanue Udayan. I'm sort of an anxiety guy, but I'm very much interested in public speaking and anchoring and stuff. So, I would like to know, how did you come to this point of hosting or anchoring this show? Or I would like to know your story too. I'm really interested. Thank you.
Okay, so my first day on stage was in, I think it was on LKG. So it was a fancy dress competition. So I was dressed up as a nun. And my father pushed me on the stage and I cried in front of the stage. So it's the same guy. When I was in college, I was addressing around 3,000 students and I got elected as the college chief editor. And I was the only person from that party to get elected. So like that, it went like that. So it's all about like belief. You should believe in yourself. If you believe that something is impossible, it will be always impossible. But if you believe that it is possible, then anything will be possible. So except if you are like violating some rules of physics. Okay. Other things, if you just believe, then it will like happen.
Riya or Arundhati or Senu, anything to add on?
So, could you just repeat the question real quick? Okay, the challenges you feel. Yeah, I think again very dependent on which category your company is in. For a D2C brand, the scaling could be anything from there's a new brand in town and now your brand is not relevant enough. The challenge could be anything that, like for me personally, every day I woke up to a new challenge. One day there'd be, okay, maybe the ad account is down. One day there's a challenge that, okay, XYZ product is sold out, we don't have anything to sell. So it's not one single challenge that you'll ever face. It's every day there's going to be a new challenge, and as long as you sort of have a plan in place of how you're going to tackle everything, you'll be able to sort of sail through.
Just adding there one, you asked about Byju's. I personally don't believe Byju has failed. That company might have failed. So that is one thing, and that's a lot of external factors are there. We are only hearing one part of it. So leave it that aside. I still believe he's a great founder who from Kerala put the legacy on the global map. Nobody has done, and nobody still not able to crack it. So he will come back. One or the other day he'll come back. Second, close to your customer. That is what most of the founders on the scaling time will miss out. Be close to your customer, keep listening to them. Whenever I lose focus on what I'm building or get distracted, one of the greatest struggle in the scaling time is distraction. Because you will get attention suddenly, you will get stages like this, you will get so many things, so you will get distracted of, today if I'm sitting here, I lost my 3 hours of my today, to which I supposed to do business. So distractions is the biggest struggle I did. So I deleted Instagram, I deleted Facebook, I keep my phone like this, I keep so many things. But still, that some one notification completely distract. To refocusing to something what you are doing, going back to the playground where you start, instead of more on building celebrity angle, go to your customers again, listen to them. Is it still relevant? It might be relevant 4 years back or 3 years back or 2 years back. And still in that belief, you are still building the company, not listening to your customers. You will be, why new companies are disrupting the market, they are listening to today's customer and they are coming up. So if you yourself is challenging your company and listening to customer every day, I don't think any of this issue. I'll answer one more thing there. When the Nokia was going to a downfall, Nokia was once a global leader. I know the founder's daughter's friend who is in Harvard right now, some mutual connection. They are telling that in Nokia, 8 months before, the 2 engineers came with an idea showing that we can build a screen and people can touch it and the phone can be that. The senior manager, somebody has told this is a stupid idea, it is a unhygiene practice, nobody will use it. They killed that idea. But that engineers listened to what is the momentum happening outside, where the management was not listening to it. Rest is history. Apple has taken over, Nokia is completely gone. So they were got a chance to maintain that the same question, the legacy what they were having, but they were not able to maintain because they were not listening to what is changing. And they were going with the legacy process. This is, we already have a market share, we will only go with that. So keep going to your customers, listening to them again and again, sitting with them, talking to them. You will get insight, are you relevant in the market today? And that will help you to keep moving forward.
Just one thing from my side, right? I think there's a lot of glitz and glam associated with startups, and the headlines are around valuations and how much money the company has raised and things like that. All of these are enablers, the amount of money you're raising. If you want to maintain a startup, and Byju's is just an outlying example of this, you need to be focused on building a good business, building a sustainable business. The amount of money you're raising, the amount of money your startup is valued at, all of these are byproducts of the quality of the business that you're building. So the next step after starting would be that. Focus on your top line numbers, focus on your bottom line numbers, focus on getting towards profitability. All of these sort of metrics are getting a bit old-fashioned now. I think only the brick and mortar companies are thinking about that. But that is equally important for startups as well after a certain point in time.